Namaskar, good evening to the viewers of Pandit Ravi Shankar Music Foundation. We are here celebrating our 52nd episode through reflections, celebrating the 100 years of none other than Bharat Ratna Pandit Ravi Shankar ji. We are having a very young guest and a very famous guest today. He is the 20th generation of dedicated Dhrupad singer in the Dagar family. He is a nephew of Ustad N. Zahiruddin Dagar, the legendary younger Dagar brothers. He got his early training from his uncle Ustad N. Zahiruddin Dagar and his father Ustad N. Fayazuddin Dagar, and he is none other than Padma Shri F. Wasifuddin Dagar. On behalf of Pandit Ravi Shankar Music Foundation, I welcome Shri Wasifuddin Dagar. नमस्कार.
नमस्कार.
कैसे हैं? ठीक है भाई जनाब?
जी बिल्कुल.
So nice to see you and congratulations that you have got married in this and before the pandemic in March.
Yeah, of course, before the pandemic.
So congratulations. Okay, and to speak to you about Pandit ji, about your memories with Pandit ji, we are having the senior most disciple of Pandit Ravi Shankar ji, Gaurav Mazumdar ji.
नमस्कार नबरुन.
नमस्कार गौरव जी.
नमस्कार, मेरा आदाब आपको.
आदाब, नमस्कार.
कैसे हैं आप?
मैं बिल्कुल ठीक हूँ. आप कैसे हैं?
बहुत अच्छे लग रहे हैं आप.
दादा बधाई भी तो दे दो आप.
बधाई दे दिया मैंने उनको एक बार.
अच्छा दे दिया. बस ठीक है. ये पैंडेमिक में एक सब कुछ ऐसा वो हो गया कि
जी लेकिन मुबारक हो वासिफ भाई. We are very happy for you and I wish you and your wonderful wife a very wonderful life ahead, happy life ahead, and that you have a nice marital bliss. To begin our conversation today, it's very interesting and I'm very, very happy and very proud that we have you to talk. I would like to go back to your forefathers. I would like to go back to Ustad Behram Khan Sahab, Pandit Gopal Das Pandey ji, and to the lineage of Dhrupad and the four Banis, main Banis. And if you could share with us about these important elements of Dhrupad with all of us, all our viewers, I think it would be very, very appropriate that we begin with where this tradition started and how it developed and where it is today.
It's a huge subject and it's very difficult to explain it in very little time. Sure. Of course, it goes back to the Guru of Miya Tansen, Swami Haridas ji. Miya Tansen ji is our Guru Bhai. We are the descendant, and of course we have learned, our forefathers have learned from there. And out of this 9 jewels of Nauratn of Akbar, they had, we talk about many other in other directions and all this thing, but Akbar had 9 jewels in musicians also. There were quite a few in this court. So there were Gyandhar Pandey, Gadadhar Pandey. Then at that time, these are the initially we started with them, and then we went ahead and in many different courts, vocal courts also. My forefathers were there, forefathers were there. So in Muhammad Shah Rangila's time, Baba Gopal Das, he got converted into Islam. So this is there had been, it took quite a few centuries also, generation to get into Islam also from Brahmins and all. It had gone. It has many different stories with many different ancestors. It has happened. So Baba Gopal Das' son, he had 2 sons, Haider Khan Sahab and Baba Behram Khan Sahab. And Baba Behram Khan Sahab had a long life, and he lived for 121 years or something like that. So yeah, because he could teach his grand nephews also, his grandsons also. So he had such a long life, and then uh, he had done a lot of research. He had learned Sanskrit, and he was Shat Shastri. He was in many courts, many different courts, likes of Bahadur Shah Zafar, also Savai Ram Singh II of Jaipur, and Maharaja Ranjit Singh. He was in all these courts, and he had traveled up to. Uh, he was in central India, more or less. We are more always remain in central India. It was not, these states are different, new concept. It is central India, southern India, northern India. It used to be like that. So he remained in this area also. So he went to Banaras also to learn Sanskrit, and with a lot of difficulty, he could adopt to this, could understand the text, whatever was written in Sanskrit and all. So our reference book is from Sharang Devji is um, I had just said about this and it's just slipping out of my mind. So it has discussed so many Swar Adhyay, Rag Adhyay, Tal Adhyay, and so many adhyayas been talked in. So our family has given a lot of emphasis to Alap, and Alap is very, it's Parikirna Adhyay, what is written in that, and then it is also called Prakaran Adhyay. So our family, there were Gitis before these Vanis, Nohar Vani, Kandar Vani, Gauhar Vani, and Dagar Vani. And Mia Tansen used to sing Gauhar Vani, and there were many other greats who were representing that. So Dagarwani, we call ourselves Dagar because we are following that Sadharmi Giti. It is from Shuddhavani. Shuddha means how much Shuddh you can keep. And we have given, Baba Bairam Khasa has given a lot of emphasis to Uchcharan Shastra also, where is Jivya Danti Talu Murdana Hoshti. So we must have heard that when we pronounce, even when we pronounce the swar, we pronounce it in a very, we try to go in a sort of exact pronunciation of sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa. Sa, ga, ma, pa, ni, sa, ni, pa, ma, ga, sa. Whereas you see in other gharanas, they have the different way of even pronouncing the sa and re and ga and all these things. So Shuddhavani means the orchard, the best way how we can keep it pure, the purest way. I don't say that other gharanas or other forms are not keeping it pure. Everybody is doing their bit. They are doing their best to maintain the legacy which is being handed over for centuries and centuries, and we are maintaining that. So we have given, there are 52 principles in Drupal. So 12 are the very essential ones. Actually, we are most of the time it is talked about the 10. Akar Kamak Lahek Dagan Puran Puran Kampit Andodudak Spriti. Then mean and sooth were also added later, so then it becomes 12. There are 52 Saptagupta Saptakat, 7 seen and 7 unseen mode. Sak Sugan means there are so many, there are 7 kinds of Vakya, where you can Shankha Vakya, the Sadharan Vakya, and so many different Vakya of even, because we, if you see that how we elaborate the rag to explain it to the youngsters and all. So it's my way of saying, it's not yes, we use the swar like anagram. This is Sarega, we have what do you call Merukhand. Sarega re saga re ga sa re ga sa, which there is. So anagram, what does anagram means? So you have the four alphabets, and you create the meaningful words out of that. how many meaningful. So many people feel that alap is meaningless. If there is no meaning behind, if there is no meaning in the word, feelings are far superior than the word. If there is no feeling behind the word, it is meaningless. So whereas we use it like an anagram, we do it sa re ga re sa ga ma pa pa sa ga ma pa ma pa sa pa ma pa sa. Then we have many other ways. Of course, I'm talking to musicians, and so many musicians are there. So so we do so much of thing in alap. Then we have gamak. There are 15 kinds of gamaks also where you can elaborate the gamaks also. And there is dagar also. You find your own path from the musical notes. You find dagar dhuran. Dhuran is the jump from lower note to higher. Muran is from the higher note. Dhuran muran. Then come with andol. Andol is because our music is different from the world is because we have given a lot of emphasis to the hidden note. Because sa is not itself a sa. Sa carries a hidden note. This is why it sounds little different from rest of the world music. Because it indicates where it wants to go and it indicates it also shows from where it is coming.
Ah,
So
okay.
the swar says more than what it is. It is just simple sa is what the spoken swar says more than what it is coming from, where it is coming from, and where it is going to. So this is why our music, of course, there are glides everywhere. They do the glide. They do the what do you say zamzama type, where you hold the note and you hold it for a little while. But the andol, how the andol is created because it is the swar is moving on its axis, but the atmosphere behind what you see when you move your hand, so people will see that it moving like it is moving like this and like that. But it is happening because the hidden note. So the hidden notes are given a lot of emphasis. So whereas people are talking about nom tom alap a lot, nom tom alap, but we in our family we say there is another mantra which says Om Anantatam Taranatanitam Hari Om Narayan Ananta Hari Narayan Ananta Hari Om Narayan. So we say that because Om is the basic, it's the main thing. We have all the emphasis around Om because the sound of Om is more than the sound of Om. So it is Om Anantatam. Oh God, I am in endless darkness. Tam means darkness. Taranatanitam. You please help me to get rid of this darkness. Hari Om Narayan, Ananta Hari Om Narayan. Oh you Lord, oh you Lords of Lord. So
Beautiful.
we do so it is for sensitive ears only people can realize of where it is coming and where it is going.
Where it's
For
going.
a lot of people, it will be just like sa pa ga ma ga 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 ga. Okay. Sa ga ma pa. It can be like a drop. Ga ma 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 ma. Re ra ra. So we are taught to use the sword like the again I've given a different name to this anagram. It's not a different name, but for a musical world, it's a different word. What I'm using a different concept. I'm showing it to youngsters that we are using sa re ga sa ga ma ga sama ga whatever it is that we are you're using it meaningful way. It should not be meaningless.
Correct.
So the music, the word, we can express it much more than what the simple or feeble word can say. The tone behind the word, the tone itself says there's tone. If you do it like the anagram, so tone is note, N-O-T-E, note, T-O-N-E, tone, N-O-T-E, note. So note, there is a note behind the tone, which expresses the things in a different way. So of course you can go ahead, you can elaborate it as much you can. Then the composition, the texts are Ashtav Kavi or the Raskhan or means whoever was around that, Sundar, or all these people's text we have taken to have whichever language has the rhythm, or the poetry which has the rhythm, it has been sort of transformed into Drupal. And to slow everything down, it doesn't mean Drupal, because of course it is it goes very sturdily. You have to move note after note, note after note. So even in other way, the khayal, the bada khayal is almost like that, but they elaborate it in the composition, slowly with the matra, and it elaborate in that way. But in alap, it is a free soundscape. As much as you can move around, you can give emphasis on whatever note, because rag itself, rag is a, because every note has a, music is huge like an ocean, but every note has a depth of an ocean. Music is huge, but rag is not less also.
Correct.
Every rag also you can explore. It's just like Paramatma is giving reply to each and every one of us, because rag and the musical notes are blessing all of us
Correct.
in our own ways.
Correct.
So it is huge like an ocean, and it's like Paramatma. Paramatma is blessing each one of us, all the genre. Forget about the genre and forget about means all different kind of music. But every individual is being blessed. Whoever is getting into music, they are getting the blessing. So our ancestors used to say, find your own sa, because this is the freedom in our Indian music, to find your own sa. Because rest of the world, they have just calculated the frequencies, and they have made C, C sharp, D sharp, and all this thing. So the first main notes are seven only: A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Yeah. So we have, पहले जमाने में जब कोई बेसुरा स्वर लगाता था तो उसको बोलते थे आठवां स्वर लगा। पहले, आज से 50 साल 40 साल पहले, जब हम भी जब छोटे छोटे थे, कोई बेसुरा कहता था ये आठवां स्वर लगाता है, तो 12 यूनिवर्सल नोट्स वर ऑलवेज देयर। ऑफ कोर्स उस टाइम भी थे। तो सब सब गुप्त और सब प्रकट तो ये अपनी जगह पे है, लेकिन तो हम लोगों ने अपना सा खोजने की, हमको हमको वी आर ब्लेस्ड टू फाइंड अवर ओन सा, एंड वी डिडंट हैव दिस साइड ऑफ keys. Wherever the vocalist, wherever he was feeling comfortable, the sa, they used to tune their tanpuras on that, and saregama used to start from there only. It was not fixed as like the tuner folks, or the,
Correct.
we didn't have those things. So the sa used to be ours. So then we you find your own sa. So if I so when I was told, so I was just thinking, find your own sa, find your own sa. But then I realized much later, I'm talking about, and not at the time of when I was learning. I'm still learning. I'm still a student. I don't say that I've learned everything. Still, I'm on my path. So I realized that the swar, sa is your own sa is written with this. Swar is also sa, written with sa. And swar is written with half sa. If you people know about Hindi, so half sa and va and ra. It is
Swara.
written like that.
Swara.
So if it is so delicate that it can't bear the weight of an alphabet also. The utterance of sa, it is so, the dealing of sa utterance. It's not. I'm not just talking about the singer, but I'm talking about the players also. means when they play it, it should be so delicate that it can't bear the weight of an alphabet also.
Correct.
So if you go into that, so it is half sa. They have our purvaj, our ancestors have not given the full sa to it also. And swa is the wife of the Agni. Yeah, swa. So this is why it was said like. But swa is samarpan. For me, I interpret as a samarpan. So we do the samarpan. We surrender our breath. We surrender it, our breath to the sa. Or when we play it, we are surrendering it to some source. Sa, swaha. So it is, we are
You're
offering.
offering.
This is our offering. This
Yes.
is our offering. We are offering. So this is why the musical note is never dead, because we are giving a fresh breath to it. We are breathing into it. So it
Correct.
can never be dead. This is why it is. Means I'm just trying to prove it, sort of why people talk about the logical replies and all these things. So this is why I'm saying we are breathing it. When we breathe into some suffocating person, so he revives or she revives. So we are giving our breath to the musical note. So it can never be dead.
Breathing life into it.
Yeah, yeah, we are breathing life into it. So then, if you remove the half sa, so what is there? What remains in swar then? It is var. It's your boon. You get, everybody gets the ashirwad.
You
Everybody
get the
gets the
blessing.
blessing.
You
Yeah,
get
you
the
get the
blessing.
blessing. Yeah, but it's up to you what you ask from them. Then you also see that Saraswati is also from sa. Sangeet is also from written with sa. Sugam is also sa. Sangam is also sa. Spasht is also sa. Swarup is also sa. Sukshma is also sa. Sarangsh is also sa. Sahitya is also sa. What not? You realize that what is you when you realize that what is what are you searching? Search your own sa. अपने सा को खोजो. क्या है तुम्हारा सा? So this is how many things I felt that it is you can do so many things like Sugad. Of course, we are all Samandar. Samundra is also sa. So everything समंदर से आग ला आग हो पानी समंदर से आग हो पानी रियाजत से राग ला राग हो रूहान so saman it's like huge you when you enter into the music when you enter into music you go with the passion the passion is interpreted as a fire you go with the fire towards the samandar and by the time you achieve it so it becomes water. And water is something which can mold into it wants to enter into any vessel, any small, big, huge, any kind of, and it adjusts anywhere. Whether it's a round vessel, whether it is surai, whether it is whatever very thin type of thin neck bottle, wherever it is. So swar, swar has means you can achieve the swar musical notes in so many different ways. So then I talk about the ucharan shastra. Jibya is how you use your tongue. Jibya danti how you control the teeth. Danti talu the palate. Murdana from your mouth. Oshti with your uh, with your lips. How you control the sound. Of course, there is one very old composition in our family which is sung, and it is by Nayak Baiju. Sur Tattva Gyan, Jivan Mukti Ko Roop Sadhe. You must have heard from my elders, so I'm repeating whatever I've got it from them.
No, please, 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 because there are a lot of listeners who might be listening it for the first time. So we cannot assume that we all know it. We are. It's. I think
So,
it's important.
Sur Tattva Gyan, after knowing the mystery behind the musical notes, Sur Tattva means after knowing the knowledge of Sor Gyan, so of music, Sur Tattva Gyan, Jivan Mukti ko Roop Sadhe. So you have to train yourself that according to music, you get your schedule and your sort of etiquettes, your ways. You have to get into the act of a musician सुर तत्व ज्ञान जीवन मुक्ति को रूप साधे you have to get into your life into that theme only जीवन मुक्ति को रूप साधे तब पावे ज्ञान को मरम then only you get to know the gist of what is the gyan, what is the knowledge behind the swar. जीवन मुक्ति को रूप साधे तब पावे ज्ञान को मरहम. Gunijan suno praman. It is also for the Gunijans, of course for the students, but he's considering the Gunijan is also like the students. They should also understand these. So you this because Vidya is very siyani. It's very intelligent. It is being created by human being, but it always
It's ahead of the
stepped
human.
and yeah. जीवन मुक्ति को रूप साधे तब पावे ज्ञान को मरहम. गुनीजन सुनो प्रमाण. जीव चित्त फिरे जब चित्त पावक में प्रवेश करे. देह वायु को ले जाए ब्रह्म गति करके समान. So means after spending your life and then finding some clue of your life, then it after moving a bit in your body, the sound travels into your stomach. जीव चित्त फिरे जीव जब पावे ज्ञान को मरहम. गुंजन सुनो प्रमाण. जीव चित्त फिरे जब पावक में प्रवेश करे. देह वायु को ले जाए ब्रह्म गंती करके समान. वायु इज एयर. ब्रह्म गंती करके समान. ताते उरद होए नावी निकट. Near the navel there is a real sound which comes. The real sound. The sound doesn't come, means of course when you there the sound comes there also, but for the lay listeners they will say भैया जहाँ से आवाज तुमको गाना वहीं से गाओ. क्यों यहाँ से गा रहे हो? लेकिन the pressure comes from there. देह वायु को ब्रह्म करती करके समान. फिर ताते उरद हुए नावी निकट सच्चम दिनी. Near the navi navel there is a real sound. ताते आए हृदय स्थान. Then it comes to the heart and the diaphragm. ताते आए हृदय स्थान. तब कंठ मद पूर्ण हुए. Then after that it comes out. तब कंठ मद पूर्ण हुए. सुपान अपान उदान वियान समान. यावदी नाद प्रकट हुए नावी नायक बैजू गुरज्ञान. So
क्या बात.
there's so much to learn from this composition itself. या कौन भरम भूले हो मन ज्ञानी. पूजत राग अक्षर बुधवानी. जानी अनजानी जानी कछु न जानी. ये विद्या बड़ी स्यानी. So people, our forefathers and musicians, they have taken care of even the means when you talk about like कौन भरम भूले कौन भरम भूले हो मन कौन भरम भूले हो उसके अंदर है. अब एक जहाँ पे वो है तो अब उसके अंदर वो ही इज गाइडिंग उनके क्या कौन भरम बोले हो. तो उसके अंदर टोन डिफरेंट है. अब इधर जो है शी इज मॉडेस्टली सेइंग दैट अब इसकी में मेरो मन देना से तुझे दरबार कर देखो 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 मोहिनो देना देखो. अब इसके अंदर उल्लास है, खुशी है. तो एक ही राग में अलग अलग वो मीन्स we have other sort of challenges to 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 where to begin from. Of course there is a swarup. We have to know what is vadi, what is samvadi, and what is means it is all being taught. But every time all the gurus, all the musicians, they find their own ways of getting into that rag, and then they get there. When you first you learn, and then it get lost, and then it comes again. When it comes again, then it becomes yours. First, we
Hmm.
get the introduction to the rag through our gurus, that this is this personality, ये है गौरव जी है, गौरव जी की ये पसंद है, ये चीज नापसंद है, ये ऐसी है, ये वैसी है. तो फिर जब हम उनसे जब बात करना शुरू करते हैं, when we start talking with you, then we get to know what other things you can still would like to do. So then we get into the rag and try to explore those points also, which are not being treated so much. That, but if you get close to those rags, so you can touch those points also, and you can communicate for a while with those rags also. So with little bit of balance, you change the rag, the message of the sentence changes. आप आ गए और आप आ गए. This is the same thing. How can you express? So when you are able to do so many things, so of course there is endless things
So
what we can
basically,
explore.
what I hear from you is expression and the philosophy behind.
Yeah,
That's what makes it basically, and especially
yeah.
the profoundness that Drupad is so profound. I have a question here, Vasif Bhai, if I may ask you. You mentioned of the Mughal ruler Muhammad Shah Rangile,
Hmm.
and Muhammad Shah Rangile's court, we had the great singer Niamat Khan Sahab.
Hmm.
And also your forefathers were in the court of Muhammad
Yeah.
Shah Rangile. Where do you see Drupad and Khyal meeting and then parting ways?
You see, at that time, this is Mia Tansen used to sing Drupad only, and then
This
later
is
on also.
before Muhammad Shah Rangile was almost like 200 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is
yeah,
then Adarang, Sadarang,
correct.
and all
Niamat
these.
Khan Sahab,
Yeah,
Sadarang.
and all, yeah.
Yeah.
So these people means, of course, Drupad was sung at that time also, and there was more. Of course, uh, the musical notes were always given importance, of course, but there was more emphasis on the compositions, because all these people knew loads, hundreds of composition in each rag. They would say that one rag is one composition starting from like this, and one composition starting like this and that. And if if Baiju Bavra ji has written some composition, so the Mia Tansen had also immediately written about almost the same text, and going little different from Baiju Bavra ji, and other Nayaks were also developing it like this. So that means the fundamental principles remain the same. So Drupad remained the biggest big house.
Umbrella.
But once you go out of that house, when you feel that I want to create my own, so you create your own fundamental principle. The house of Khayal. Then they went more onto Zamzamas, Murki, and whereas the beautifying of the means, they felt that every word should be beautified in different particular ways, rather than just the
A
same way.
lot of frills and miniature
Yeah.
monkeys and things like that.
Yeah, but simplicity is also beautiful.
Yes.
That's also another thing. What is more important, where people always say that Khayal has more say ornamentation, and Drupad doesn't have that much of ornamentation. I disagree with this.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
also select the phrase, and then we also decorate it. So
Sure.
we try to decorate it in a very simpler, and simplicity is also beautiful. So
Sure.
that's also there, and zamzamas are very important. Frills are also very important. Murkis are also very important. So then they have opted for
What about the
these type of
difference?
things.
What about the difference in the language of the two forms, the text and the message?
It is the yeah. Thank you for reminding me. Of course, it is always for devotional. Drupad has always opted for devotional kind of text. And if it is, we are describing the beauty also, but it is for the Devi also. And whereas in Khayal and Thumri, they have gone for other lighter ways. It- The
Little
Krishna
more
is also
humane,
described, yeah,
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 little more
for
romantic and
yeah,
humane and love and
yeah.
yeah,
But romanticism is also there
Drupad.
in Drupal also, that we like oh, Dore Jovene Mati Angarati Gure Nana Chant Ekarate Si Musai Kani Hai Juvene. अब ये भी ध्रुपद है.
Beautiful, beautiful,
अब
खूबसूरत.
इसको दिया शाम रहते बारा जोरी शाम देवो धमार गड़ा रहते बारा जोरी शाम रहते बारा जोरी शाम
क्या
तो
बात
अब
है.
ये इसको अब जिस तरीके से आप वो करें, अब इसके अंदर अगर हम श्याम रंगा डा भी शाम तो परेशान हो जाएगा, जिसको रंग पड़ेगा वो भी परेशान हो जाएगा.
Correct.
वो अब उसकी ब्यूटी को वो रखना ही पड़ेगा. अब दूसरी कंपोजिशन है, उसके अंदर वो अलग तरीके से उसके प्रस्तुत मैं तो दोहराए जाऊं कहाँ है चूके इनो ओ
Uh-huh.
सावरे रगड़ो. अब रे सावरे रे सावरे रे डार दियो मैं तो सावरे रगड़ो रे डारे दियो मैं तो बोराई सा मेरे रे डारे दियो सा मेरे सा मेरे रगड़ो रे. So this is the way of expressing the different texts in a different way. And how, because a poetry is spoken in front of 1,001 people, and everybody understand the text in their own way. Even means even some listeners go even deeper than the poet itself, what he must have thought to write something. So
Correct,
so the
correct.
how much
It's
how
an
much how,
interpretation.
yeah. So how much a music composer, how much he understands the text, so he gives the musical note to the same text, and it becomes so. There are some gurus and different gharanas. They sing the compositions, the same text in a different rags and with a different thing. So it's a huge and it's a vast area to cover and
Vast
discover.
subject. Very, very big subject. Absolutely.
So
Beautiful. Thank you, Vasif Bhai. It's been absolutely wonderful. Thank you very much. Now, 2020,
yeah,
of course, 2020 will be remembered forever because of this pandemic, because of Corona, because of the lockdown, because of all the challenges. But also, 2020 is the centenary of Bharat Ratna Pandit Ravi Shankar ji. And we are very, very pleased to have you on this show. Today is the 52nd episode. We have been speaking
Yeah.
to so many people, wonderful people, musicians, artists, writers, poets, and we are very happy to have you represent the Dagar Gharana, the Dagar Bani
It's my pleasure. And 52, when you're talking about 52, I said 52 principles of the book.
principles. Exactly. So there is
So there is again, I'm
no
connecting
coincidence.
myself with that.
Correct.
And but I would just say that who am I to talk about him? Such a great personality, and he is he was always a trendsetter. Means he was when he was with his elder brother, he was doing he was uh, he was 100 more than 100% with him, and when he came to Baba, then he
Ah,
gave more than 100% with Baba also, and then he has shined like a jewel, and he was a star, and he remained star, and he has it's what his contribution is. Of course, I cannot say anything, but all the tanpura, all the string instruments are called sitar. You go. Can you imagine 2000, 2005 or or six? I was in California, from San Jose to San Francisco. I was going by a taxi. So a person came. So we told him that we have two instrument tanpuras and all those things. And what I was talking with you earlier, and I just all of a sudden I remember. And this person, uh, he said when he saw the tanpura boxes and all, he said, "Oh, it's sitar." I said, "No, no, this is not sitar. This is this is tanpura. This is tanpura." "Oh, sitar. Hey, hey, here's a cab driver. Can you imagine?"
yeah.
He knew the name of our our maestro, our our great Panditji. He said, "Oh," and I don't want to say which. Can I say? I will just say, "Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Ravi lives. He's here in this area. You know that." So I was, we were all so happy to know and shocked also, and sometimes we also got annoyed with the tanpura being called sitar everywhere. So that's
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's plus and minus with all the thing. But it was so amazing that he he went and stood along with those, means whatever happens in the West, means everybody says that this is the biggest thing, and he was among them, and he was living with all these people, whether it was with Beatles or whether it was with any one of those people, but he has taken the our music, our great music, to that corner of the world, and all the corner, and rest of the people have done their own task, own work, still they are doing, but what he has done, and he used to he he has he has made the themes of his concerts also. This will be the color scheme, this will be this thing, if you know that all.
Detailing, absolute
Yeah,
detailing.
yeah. So he had, and he used to, like we say, concert he used to call show. There is a show, and there is thing, and so, and he's playing his long alaps, what he has adopted, learned, and then he learned, what he adopted, he adopted, what he gave, what he preserved, he preserved. So the way he has elaborated the the rags and alap, it is almost means like Pandit Nikhil Banerjee ji also used to play long alap. I'm talking about 60s and all this time. At that time, there was only a behlawa. Alap used to be just a behlawa. Only our family was doing alap, or these people, what I'm taking the name, they were putting emphasis on alap. So Parikrina Adhyay was means maintained, uh, by Panditji. And I had seen him in Siriford, and he had a very strong aura. So of course, I've, as he's as Nabarunji had said, the young artist of 19th generation. So at that time, you can imagine I was even younger to get to go to go close to him and say it was very difficult to communicate with him. He had always had people surrounded, and it was very. He had a very strong aura. This is what only I can say, and he had maintained it for a good number of decades. Even I can say more than the half century. He maintained it in in the same way. So, and his music, his composition, even in the films, what he had, कैसे दिन बीते कैसी बीते रतियाँ. It is. So
Beautiful, beautiful
it was
compositions.
near the, yeah.
That reminds me, Vasif Bhai, there was a request from Sukanya ji, our Chinnama, our Guruma. She wants to listen to Bairagi. So
Okay. Usually I sing Gayatri Mantra in,
that's fine. That's okay.
in
Let's.
but I will just sing a little bit of Quran. ओम को भी डिवाइड करने की जरूरत नहीं है, AUM करने की जरूरत नहीं है। ओम एक धुनात्मक ध्वनि है। नेचुरल इंस्ट्रूमेंट जो है, एक तो हमारा वॉइस है और एक है शंख।
क्या बात है।
शंख में से भी
Sukanya,
उसकी ध्वनि
Sukanya
आती है।
Maima has written also that it is more appropriate for puja, the song. And she is writing also.
My
Wonderful.
pranam to her.
गौरव दा क्या बात है,
Thank
गौरव
you.
दा क्या मतलब, you are icon. I just wanted to say that you are an icon, singing icon among the youngsters, and it's true. I can tell from my bottom of my heart. It's true.
And I try to take forward what has been the Sugan, what has been, because Sugan you cannot, everybody can assess in their own way. So Sugan can be interpreted by the own person who is smelling it in their own way. So I'm trying to carry on the Mahek, Sugan, whatever my forefathers, my gurus have handed over. I'm nothing if I can be called their student, it will be, my life will be, I will feel like.
Wasif bhai, you're doing it beautifully with a lot of responsibility and wonderfully, wonderfully. Absolutely. We are really proud of you. If you allow, I would like to read some messages. A lot of people have joined, a lot of people are watching. So if you can just give us few minutes, I just want to read because uh, there is Nisha Chatterji, of course, Nabarun's wife. She's watching. Jay Mehtaji is watching. Angarika Khyanath Mitra. Santosh Namdevji. Aditya Dip, our technical support. Sukanya ji saying namaskar, best wishes. Uh, then she requests. I told you already.
Yeah.
Sukanya ji saying, please ask him to say.
It's my privilege and I'm so honored and I'm very happy that you remembered me in this series. And if there was no pandemic, no COVID-19, I know what a celebration it would have been.
We will still have.
Yeah.
And we are still having. Because with Panditji there is nothing else but celebration. Sukanya ji is saying in Sukanya there is a sa, and in Shankar there is a sa also.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Dr. Malik, Samit Malik ji is watching. Rajarshi Bhattacharya, Vibhakar bhai from London,
Yeah.
dear friend and a wonderful human being. Vibhakar bhai is watching. Ibadul Haq is a wonderful sitar player, disciple of Deepak Chaudhary, Guruji's disciple, watching from Dhaka. Then Preeti Singhal, a dear family friend and my Baba's student from Allahabad. She lives in Hyderabad. She is watching. Vibhakar Bhai saying, I just adore Wasif Bhai and his ethereal singing. His Bairagi is exceptional and very soothing. Then Ravi Shankar Shukla ji is saying, Dagar Gharane ka alap jod jhala का ही अपना ही एक आनंद है.
और सिंगिंग में झाला जोड़ झाला नहीं लगता,
वो
उसके
हम
अंदर मदंग वेदांग होता है, वेदांग है, मदंग है और द्रुत है. हाँ,
द्रुत है. जी 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 जी. Then Preeti Singhal is saying, what a soulful voice. Sukanya ji is giving information here. Guruji composed this rag Bairagi in 1949. Beautiful. Vivek Panchal. Sukanya ji, as Nabarun said, very appropriate for puja, this rag Bairagi.
Yeah, this rag is one of the oldest rag, old bhairavs, yeah. And one of the 12 bhairavs, and that's Vairagi, Vairagya. It really takes you
to a different level of
it is
meditative mood and
how it pulls you out of pulls you away from Ahir Bhairav and Ahir and this how the Devat works and how the Devat Ved and Komal Nishan, and it's really
So I thank you, Wasif Bhai, for coming, joining us, and giving us time and speaking so much about such wonderful insight into Drupad lineage of yours, your forefathers, wonderful people who have done so much for this beautiful music, this absolute devotional, divine music, and coming and joining in the celebration of our Guru Bharat Ratna Pandit Ravi Shankar ji. And we do look forward to joining with you also when the pandemic is gone and when we do real concerts, not virtual, but real concerts at the center here in Rimpa and other places. We do look forward to having you, and we are really waiting for that day.
yeah. I'm also desperately waiting for that day, that moment.
Thank you, Namaskar, Adab, and my best wishes to your family, and looking forward to seeing you. Stay safe, most important. Stay at home as much as possible and stay safe. Take care of yourself. Thank you, Wasifuddin.
Okay.
Nabarun.
Wasif bhai, thank you. Gaurav was to say something.
Yes, I just want to say that please, if you can just add in the end a few lines.
Adding is with a request of the Mandish of that Gharana about Lord Shiv.
Lord Shiva.
There is some request also from the viewers. They're asking for that
So
song.
Shiv
Bandish of, Shiv. The Shiv.
Tandav Shiv or the Shantiv Shiv?
Whichever you prefer it at this time, because this time we want Shanti, not Tandav.
And tomorrow is Monday. In a few
and
hours.
Tomorrow's Monday. Yeah.
Shiva's day. So yeah, it's appropriate that we end with a Shiv Vandana Stuti composition, whatever you might want to call it.
But yeah, Shiva, 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 Kara, Shiva, 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 Kara, Shambho, Tate, Ganga, Om Shiva, 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 Lakota Traya Ishwaraya Lakota Traya Ishwaraya Kailashi Kashi Shiva, 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 Shankara, Shiva, Shankara, Shiva, 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 Shankara. Pashupati Shiva Rudra Narayana 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 Rudra Narayana Shiva 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 Nilakanta, 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 Ishvara Kashi Nivasi, Kashi Nivasi, Nivasi, Nivasi Shiva Kashi Nivasi, Kailashi, Kailashi Shiva Shiva. Shiva, Shiva, Shiva,
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
क्या बात है, क्या बात है. I will listen to this recording 10 times, rewinding this
अरे
song and with
वाह,
using my headphone. Then I will get the clear sound and that जो अंदर से जो चीज आएगी तभी पता. क्या बात है.
वो एक शेर है, हुस्न के अंदाज सभी प्यारे हैं, हुस्न के अंदाज सभी प्यारे हैं,
अभी
मगर
प्यार.
हम सादगी के मारे हैं।
हाँ हाँ.
हुस्न के अंदाज सभी प्यारे हैं, हम सादगी के मारे हैं। तो
अरे
मौसीकी जो है, म्यूजिक को संगीत, मौसीकी के अंदाज सभी प्यारे हैं, मौसीकी के अंदाज सभी प्यारे हैं,
अभी प्यारे हैं.
पर हम दुर्पद के मारे
क्या.
हैं। हम दुर्पद के मारे हैं। बस यही है, ये खुशबू फैले और सब जगह पे पहुंचे, और आप लोग ने मुझे याद किया, मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा, और उनका कंट्रीब्यूशन अटूट है। और आप मैं कैसे बोलूं, आप गुरुमान जो है वो मेरा बहुत प्रणाम करिए, और उनका आशीर्वाद हमें सबको मिले।
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Wasif bhai. I am मतलब eagerly waiting for meet you after this pandemic. जल्दी वो सुबह आए और उसके बाद आपसे मुलाकात हो, आपके गानों को सुना जाए और लुत्फ उठाया जाए. क्यों गौरव दा, क्या बोलते हैं? With those words, thank you coming to our show. We are really honored to have you in our show. And be safe,
Yeah, yeah. We are
safe,
all
and
trying,
you all are.
trying our level hard, which we can,
Yeah,
if we can avoid this.
exactly.
And Gaurav Da had played a memorable Marwa in our concert series, what we have for Dagar Brothers No Red Crush. We had a wonderful, we all remember this Marwa. You remember?
Yes.
Yes, yeah,
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you, Sim bhai. Take care. And to the viewers of Pandit Ravi Shankar Music Foundation, we will be there next week at Friday at 6 p.m. with another eminent personalities sharing their views with Pandit ji and talking about Pandit ji. Till then, good night. And to the viewers, please be safe in this pandemic and avoid crowded area. Use of sanitizers and use of mask is very essential. Prevention is better than cure. Once again, good night. Take care. Good night to everybody.